But as we got more into testing, we realized it's actually much better to drive in this direction. The history has kind of flopped back and forth. When Rias and Jarrett initially designed it way back in 2020, they actually had astronauts driving the other way, but they switched, and I think some of it was intuition of which way you drive on Earth. But as we got more into testing, we realized it's actually much better to drive in this direction. In August of last year, we brought out 2 astronauts to get some feedback. And as we started preparing for that test, we decided that included in that test was being able to drive in both directions. We actually modified SN1 to be able to do that. So they did that test, and it was really clear. Every test that we put them through, it was better to drive in this direction. Then we went through a NASA test called a human-in-the-loop mock-up test. And they performed a series of tasks. And again, in almost every task, it was better to be in this direction. And then I think the last thing that really contributed to was realizing that we need to improve how the astronauts are restrained and kept safe when they drive. And being able to fully restrain them meant that we couldn't drive in both directions. Originally, our design had us driving in both directions, but switching to one way only allowed us to really constrain the astronaut to make sure they were safe as they drove. You have a lot more situational awareness of what's in front of you. You can see your front tires, which is really important when you're off-road. Being able to know what hazards are in front of you. And then also it makes science a lot better too. You can see the geology as you're driving a lot closer, which some of our test subjects, like the astronauts, identified as really important to be able to see.